All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and every Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube and we live stream our process of working and trying to build a business which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. Last year, we did just shy under $100,000 in revenue, and this year we're gunning for $250K in revenue. So we'll see how far we get. We're quite a ways from there, but maybe there is hope. Let's find out. So we're going to jump right into our weekly business check-in, this is just something that we do. We started a couple weeks ago now of just reviewing what we did last week, what we're doing this week, and just seeing anything that we can learn from it, and see what insights we can gather and see how we can move the needle forward in order of, meeting our goals and our objectives. Okay, so like I said, weekly business check-in. Hope you all had a great weekend, by the way. It is Monday, so maybe nice and rested and relaxed after the weekend. Anyways, I know for me, I was doing quite a bit of work over the weekend, but hey, that's okay. I don't mind at all. Okay, so as always, our primary goal, of course, is to get our company to the point where it's generating $1 million in revenue every single year. So that hasn't changed, pretty much the same. Revenue streams, again, 3 revenue streams. We have a web design and development agency where people can buy websites from us, or we just build them for our clients. And we also offer subscription services as well. So there's monthly or yearly subscription fees, whether you want us to help you continue to maintain or develop new things for your website. And of course, we have Pixel Pieces, which is a membership, which is a one-time lifetime purchase of our WEBFLOW template and component library. And that's the main thing that we've been working here on this channel for the past quite a while, actually, for a good few months at least. I think we can see that. Okay, I got to remember that my face is kind of blocking the text here. Okay, so short and medium term goals. So these haven't changed since we started doing these weekly check-ins. So number one, we want to get up to 100% confidence in Pixel Pieces, which is all the components that we're building, so that we can be very confident in actually delivering the value that we're going to be saying that we're going to be doing once we start doing some heavy marketing of our product. And then once we do that, we want to get our first 10 paid customers. And then we also want to have 100 free customers. Maybe that one should be first. We get the free customers, convert them to paid, but whatever. We want to have that kind of 10% conversion from free members to our first customers, or like 10% from paid customers to paid members. Free customers, paid members. Did I say that right? I think so. And then we want to have about 500 components in our library, so that we look like we have a really good starting point or good beef up point for Pixel Pieces. And then of course we want to get interacting with the customers that we do have. We want to get that initial feedback on things that we can improve on and work on, and then figure out when it's going to be a good time to launch on Product Hunt. And a good time, we want to do that as well too, is to have some type of competition or some kind of contest where we can get designers from around the world, wherever, to have some kind of competition of who can build the best website using Pixel Pieces. Maybe we'll do it you have like an hour to do it or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it, but we'll figure out how that's going to work. Okay, so I need to move myself out of the way here. Let's put myself kind of up here. Okay, so what did we work on last week? So we wanted to have the new ability for people to be able to go on Pixel Pieces and filter the components based on various criteria. So we did that. That's 100% complete. Super pumped to get that shipped and out the door. So people that are on Pixel Pieces now can start using that. 2, we wanted to start engaging on Twitter and Discord. Again, been so busy on focusing on the product, haven't had much time to do any of that. And in fact, we had no time to do any of that, so we haven't done any of it. We want to build 92 components to get our components up to 250. So I've been working a lot and we'll get into this once we kind of finish this recap. We'll start getting right back into work. I've been doing a lot of work in Figma to design and build new components. So we are at that number. We just have to actually make them in WEBFLOW and then publish them and all that kind of stuff. So I'd say we're about halfway there, and we're going to have more than 250 components once everything is all said and done. And I'll show you guys what I've been up to over the past couple days. Right. And then there's designing the existing components that we have in Figma and then update all of them with new screenshots and everything like that. So I figure we're about 60% there. But these two, number 3 and 4, I really want to get that done by the end of this week. So that next week we'll roll around. All of that is out the door and we can just focus 100% on our marketing efforts, which is all this stuff here down below. Number 5, engage with current free members and newsletter subscribers to see if we get any feedback on the product. So we have our email list already. So things like, hey, just sending out an email, say, hey, we got these new products, blah, blah, blah. I'd love for you to check it out, whatever, right? Just engage with them and let them know what's going on within Pixel Pieces, right? And then we want to create a content production schedule for how we're going to continue to consistently publish new content on social media. So that's going to be a big trial and error once we get going, and we're going to be going on a weekly basis, seeing what works and what doesn't work with the marketing content that we're doing. So we really want to keep a really close eye on the statistics between, or like on our social media content to see what's working, what's not working. So yeah, so that's that. That's what we did last week. Oh, how come it's not, where are you? Where's my mouse? There we go. Next. Okay. So getting into key metrics now, talking about revenue. So basically nothing has changed since last week. We got a bunch of zeros on screen. Pixel Pieces has not brought in any revenue yet. Our monthly recurring revenue stays the same, and we haven't done anything for having any new one-time client revenue or anything like that. So social media metrics and analytics. So this is just going off of our YouTube channel. Oh, actually, there's one change here that needs to be made. This year, actually, the 77%, that's a decrease from last week. So we had 307 views, 514 subscribers. We gained 11 subscribers last week, which is kind of nice. YouTube watch hours, again, this is down. It shouldn't be up here, 77%. It's down. No change in newsletter subscribers and no change in Discord members. Again, we're not doing anything yet with marketing, so that's not surprising that that's not growing as fast as maybe we would want it to grow. Okay, so any insights from last week? So there's one big thing that I got, and Rolando was talking to me about this. He mentioned something, Sprout UI, and he showed it to me. And it's this big resource, a free resource in Figma, and it has like 1,300 components or something like that. And it has a really cool way of showing how you can use different components to put together different page layouts. And it's a really great resources for people. And I guess what I kind of, one of the big things that I took from it is there's lots of things in that, resource that we can get inspiration from and use within Pixel Pieces. So again, it's not to just, not steal from what they're doing, obviously, but to just think of how they're using Figma to put the components together and display them so that people can see how things can fit together. I think there's lots of inspiration that can be had from that. And that's something that I've been looking at incorporating into Figma. And we'll get into the actual file here in a minute. But I've been thinking about how they're putting their stuff together to maybe seeing how I could do something similar, maybe a little bit different because I work a little bit differently than those guys do. So, but at the end of the day, it's kind of thinking what the customers are going to want at the end of the day. So basically the big kind of takeaway is don't be afraid to take inspiration from other places because, a website's a website. There's only so many ways you can skin a navigation. They all kind of look very, very similar, right? And what Pixel Pieces is doing is we're really taking things down to their bare bones to give you the framework to then go ahead and skin your own design onto it, right? So we want to make it very, very easy to be able to put a bare bones thing together with the proper HTML and the code behind it, that all it needs is your tender loving care in terms of what the design is, right? So that's what we're looking at there. And so the second thing too is what I did is I had a look at my analytics to see what were the best performing live streams that I've had here on YouTube over the past month. And more often than not, if you look at my live streams, they get between, a couple dozen to 50 or 60 views, something like that. So they don't get that many views at this stage of the game, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. But the watch time is always kind of the big thing because people, I think they'll click on, they'll see it, they'll look at the title and be like, oh, okay. And then they'll see that it's kind of a live stream and it's, I don't know, whatever. They just click away and then they don't spend much time watching. So they get like on average like 1 minute, 2 minutes in terms of what the average watch time is. But there was 3 episodes that really stuck out, and it's episode 352, 357, and 358. They had the most viewer retention. As I said, yeah, by far out of the top 10 most popular videos that I had in the past month. So, and the watch times, yeah, 13 minutes, 19 minutes, and 31 minutes. So in episode number 358, which was laying down the foundation for my personal brand, I can't remember how many viewers watched it, but at least a couple dozen. So many people just watched almost like the whole thing. So that's really, really good. And then 52 and 57 is all about, well, 52, we're talking about launching the whole agency and how I'm going to think about things with affiliate marketing. And then reviewing Pixel website and making general improvements. Again, that's a whole thing about building a company and building that thing. So my kind of takeaway from this is people are more interested or seem more interested, at least from this live stream perspective, when I'm talking about what I'm doing in general to start, like everything that's in general about running my business, not so much of the, hey, here's me building something in Figma, right? Here's what I'm doing as a whole, right? So, I could be wrong about that, but that's what I'm getting from this. So if I do more episodes, which are diving more into what I'm doing about my personal brand or what I'm doing as a business to try to get more business as a creative agency or as selling a product. So I think those types of content might end up doing better. So how could I say this very simply? It's almost as if I want to see you doing the work on the business versus doing the work in the business. I think that's the difference. So, and the work that's in the business, which is almost like, hey, I'm just going to sit down and do Figma or do WEBFLOW, whatever. I think that type of content is more geared towards something that is a specific tutorial, right? Of like, hey, here's how you do XYZ in Figma or WEBFLOW or whatever. And if somebody wants to learn that information, they can go to those videos. But when it's the live stream, maybe it's more of a, hey, we're just kind of chatting about how to do business. What's working in business, what's not working. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just trying to get a handle on that. Kevin, yeah, how you doing? How was your weekend? Good to see you here, as always. Lots of new followers for the weekend. Yeah, I think my last couple of videos were getting a few extra views when they were talking about doing like Figma stuff, which is kind of goes into a little bit of a little bit different from what I'm just talking about right here. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this, Kevin. So one of the things that I want to do is, go through all my past streams, 300 and whatever now, almost 400, seeing which ones seem to retain more people and are more, have more engagement with people. And again, it seems like I was just saying that videos or live streams where I'm talking more about what I'm doing on my business seem to do better than when I'm doing work like in the business, right? Where it's like, hey, we're just, building components today or whatever the case may be, right? Which might be good for specific people that want to learn how to do something, but maybe people are more interested in like following this, build $1 million business with just understanding or talking about the general themes of the company, the business or whatever. So anyways, I'm just trying to get a handle on that and thinking, if I geared my videos or my live streams more towards, hey, what are you doing on your business, to get more business, how to get more customers, again, what I'm going to be talking about in the future, like how am I going to be doing my marketing? I feel like that kind of stuff at the end of the day might be more the niche to try to think about how to really kind of grow the audience, I guess you can say, right? So anyways, it's just my first attempt here at really just trying to make some good, solid, data-driven decisions based on the feedback that I'm getting from, the people that are watching my videos. So again, just thinking these videos, people are watching, But then the videos are like, hey, here's me doing something in Figma or WEBFLOW. They click on, spend like 30 seconds, and then they click off, right? They might get 200 views, but the average retention is like a minute, right? So anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that plays out. And I think once I do get to, like what I was saying earlier, that I really need to get Pixel Pieces to the point where I'm going to be satisfied and happy with doing a huge amount of marketing for it and getting people to it. And that I have to get that done this week. Then I'm really going to be focusing on the whole marketing. And then we're really going to be talking about the things that we're going to be doing to try to grow the business. So I think that I'll even naturally kind of shift towards that way. So I think that'll be pretty good. So what are we working on this week? So I think it's on Friday. I have a sales call with a potentially new client. And this will be a larger client. So I'm really looking forward to this call. So I'm going to have to do a little preparation for that. And again, that's going to be a call with a client that is looking to create, it's not even just a standard website, but they want to create a website or maybe an application that is able to take scientific data and visualize it in a way that's engaging for people that whether view their site or whatever. So we're gonna have to see exactly what it is that they're going to be looking for, but it's not going to be a simple website. So it's going to be a larger project, I would imagine, with a larger client. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that call. And then, of course, as I've had it on here for the past few days or few weeks, engaging on Twitter and Discord. We got to start engaging with the community. We have to engage with the people that we already have, our subscribers, people on Discord, and then figure out what we're going to do for our content. So that's going to be the big thing going forward. And of course, number 3 and 4, we're going to get that out of the door this week for sure. That's what we're going to be aiming for. So with that being said, let's just dive into the, what is this? This is the component library here in Figma. So I was working quite a bit over the weekend on making a whole bunch of different components. So what I was just working on just now is the form, or the contact forms. And I basically just changed that a little bit too. If we look at what we had before. So here's Pixel Pieces. Let's zoom this in zoom in a little bit. That's hard. You can't really zoom in on those images. But these are the forms. And I didn't make them contact forms. It's just almost like just a general form. But I was looking at other component libraries and other people that do things with forms. And I think it makes more sense to have them as contact forms. So I added this get in touch, contact us, and then this tagline or whatever on each form. So people kind of knew or know that it's a contact form. And so, yeah, so I just basically just building a bunch of different contact forms. So, and there's much more variations and stuff that I can do with the ones that I have here. Because one thing I haven't done is added any images or maps or anything like that, which I think is something that a lot of people like to have in their contact forms. So yeah, so just plugging away, again, creating lots of, like redoing all the images for the components that we already have, plus building a whole bunch of new ones as well too. So we're going to have a lot more than 250 once we're done here, so which is really nice. So Kevin, related to science, I learned of a WEBFLOW agency that focuses on science companies, Bunsen Studio. Yeah. Are they, like I've heard of them before when I was doing my investigations, and I don't know if they're like are they specifically WEBFLOW? But I think what their premise behind them is, yeah, that they're scientists and we can help you do your science as well too. And I think that was one of the initial inspirations and thoughts for what was it, like Kelvin Studio, and thinking about how we can focus on doing things that are strictly for scientists and scientific companies. And I think we're going to see how this conversation goes on Friday. Because if you look at our site right now, and if you look at our customers, and for the majority of the customers are all science academic based for the most part, right? Pathfinder, Legendary, and there's a few other companies here that I don't have listed on here because I don't have logos for them, or they don't have logos themselves, which is something that needs to be rectified anyways. But the most of the work that I've done, you could see here, it's really it's really science-based stuff. So, and there's lots of things that I could do to, highlight this in my portfolio or what have you. So all that being said, so I know we did all this work to kind of get this thing going as something that somebody that can just, kind of click and get started and away you go, and which we could still have. But if something really comes along with this client and say it ends up being like a, $30,000 to $50,000 contract or something like that, then all bets are off. Then it's like, okay, people are interested in this. And I've had people, they just contact me kind of out of the blue that they want this kind of work. Then I think it's going to make sense to do a little bit of a shift and a pivot to create a homepage or a landing page that is strictly about science. And that's the Kelvin Studio thing. So yeah, I've heard of a few companies. Bunsen Studio is one of them, but there's a few other ones too that are out there that specialize specifically in scientific communication. And I think it's a big, like we were talking about this before. I think it's a great idea. It's just, I feel like I know it's not something that I want to do the rest of my life. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to do more science stuff. Like I've just been doing it to death for so long. But then it's what I know and it's what I'm really good at. So maybe suck it up for 5 years and make the money and then use that money to fund all the other work that you're doing. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see what happens on Friday. Because at the end of the day, I could be wrong. Kevin, maybe you can tell me straight up whether, do you think that there's still room in the marketplace for something like Pixel Pieces, or if I'm just wasting my time building something like this, that it's going to be too hard to penetrate the Flowbase and the ReLU libraries of the world. I don't know. I hope not. And I guess that's what I'm kind of counting on, but we're going to find out here in the next month or two, once I really start marketing, to seeing what the market is like and what the market is looking for. So, but anyways, yeah. So we'll see. So, right. So anyways, components. So, right. We got lots of components that I'm building. And I went for the blog sections, writing lots of things or making different components just for blogs. So that's all the same. With the application UI, these ones, I might need to see again if I need to do them in a different way. But I made them all into components here, where people can change the states as unchecked versus checked, rounded versus straight, and then the type solid fill. So all that can be changed within here. So again, if you're actually building something within Figma, then you could go ahead and alter things within here. So we got toggles, we got checkboxes, we got radio buttons, we got sliders, a slider. Well, I guess there's multiple sliders because they have different bars and then different handles as well too. So you can go in here and you can change the bar and then you can change the handle, which gives you like a whole whack of different possibilities. We have progress bars, the different progress bars with the styles of the bar and then the styles of the actual progress as well. Same thing with progress in these circles as well. Tooltip. These ones are just simple. I think it's one versus the other, like tooltip 1, tooltip 2. Instead of trying to do like a multi different types of components like within components. Authentication, I just did one simple one here. I'm not really sure how to make other authentication forms because it's basically the same thing, like type in 6 digits and like that's it. So unless anyone can think of anything that you can do that's different, but anyway, so I just made that. Different tags. So if you're just using tags in blog posts or just for wherever you might need tags, they're here. I did a bunch of different things with this, like the user portal as well too, where I created different icons and then different states you can have on the icons. And then I created different positions of the avatar, whether it has a drop-down arrow or not, where the position is of the person's name, and if they don't even have the name at all. I should probably do another one with just the name, but without like this thing as well too. And then different states of whether there's a notification or not on the user. And that might be a case where you might want to have that if there's no icons beside it. But anyway, so then you can go in here in this portal and then you can change all the different styles of what you're looking for the name of the person. And then you can change what you see in terms of the icons that are here. Actually, what I did is I just you can just show or hide them here. And then you can go, of course, there and change their state. This is chat, but it shouldn't be chat. It should be search. I got the numbers or the names wrong. This is search and chat. Did I get that? Search and chat. Well, that's interesting. Oh, I must have just renamed it wrong. I must have named it myself. So yeah, that's search. This is chat. Anyway, so you can go ahead and build your things too. And then the idea here is people are going to use this what do we want to call it? I don't know, this UI guide, whatever. And they could go ahead and start building their own layouts with it, much like what that Sprout UI was like. So breadcrumbs as well too, having different breadcrumbs here based on, I think it's just type 1, type 2, type 3, and just have different things, whether you want to have a home for your home or you just want to have these little title cards or whatever. So anyways, so lots of things in terms of rebuilding out everything. I think you guys saw me do this navigation as well too. So yeah, so just hard at work. And then if all the components that I've already transferred over and like these are all screenshotted, I think I'm well over 170 and I'm about, where am I specifically? I think if I go here, I've done the accordion, I've done the UI, I've done the banners. The benefits, I just threw that into the layout sections because I was looking at the benefits and they're just basically different layout sections with like 3 icons and such. So those ones were transferred into there. I've done the blog. Haven't done the call to actions, haven't done the footer yet. I was working on the forums, and have the layouts, have the navigation, don't have pricing. So I have, I think, testimonials, team, the reviews, pricing pages, the hero sections, and then the call to action sections. Those ones that I need to get new components built. And then once those are built, then I guess then I'll be done. Right. And it's going to take, I did quite a bit over the weekend. I spent a couple days and I got the contact form done. I finished all the UI stuff, did all the blog stuff as well too. So, it should take maybe a few more days. And then once we get them done, then we actually have to make them in WEBFLOW as well, which would take another couple of days, plus maybe over the weekend, then it'll be done. So that's why I'm saying by Monday, I should have all of this done and, have up to, maybe 300 components, 350 components. And then I'll feel really good, really confident and comfortable, especially now that the filter is working. So people can go ahead and start filtering through things and people can find things. And then I can finish all the videos that I want to make. And then we can just go to town on really trying to get people to use the product and really actually finally doing some marketing. So super pumped and excited about that. So that's the update. That's that's where we are so far in Pixel and Pixel Pieces. So this is going to be a very interesting week. So number one, we're going to finish all the components and we're going to get everything ready to go. So hopefully by Monday, not hopefully, we've got to make sure by Monday. I don't care if I have to not sleep for the rest of the week. We're going to have the new Pixel Pieces with all the components, everything kind of ready to go for the marketing. So that's number one thing that's going to happen. Number two, we're going to see what's going to happen with this potential new client, have a nice chat with them and figure out what they want, and then figure out if it makes sense for us to, well, number one, see if we're going to make a design proposal and submit that to those guys. And then we're going to see if it's going to make sense then, if we do land the contract, to just change a little bit of Pixel Pieces, or even just flesh out, keep Pixel as it is and just be like, hey, if you just want a simple website, and maybe we'll just change it to like, hey, simple website, $3,000, boom. It's one and done, super easy. And then we have another agency. We just spin off another company. Like, who cares, right? And that's Kelvin Studio, where it's all about scientific communication or what have you, right? So maybe that's the case we go. Because if I do land this contract, and it is a larger contract, between 30 and 50K, like I'm almost positive I'm going to have to bring somebody on, even if it's just as like a part-time thing for just this one thing, like a contract thing. So we'll see how that goes. And if that's the case too, then it's going to make sense to, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So I'm looking forward to it. So a big week this week. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to get back to work. And yeah, so we're going to leave it here for today, because at least we're just doing, just a recap for today, I guess, on Monday. I don't know. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. You think of my plan? Is it a good plan? Yeah, I don't know. Just very, I don't know. Just always looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Kevin, as always, appreciate the support. Love that you stopped by. And yeah, everyone, thank you again. And as always, I'll be back here again tomorrow for a brand new stream. And tomorrow, I'm sure we're going to get back into just designing stuff in Figma or maybe WEBFLOW if we want a little bit of a change. All right, guys, until then, thank you once again for joining and watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow.